Hey everyone, it's Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life. Welcome back to 30 Days of Sketches. On to day 18 with this fun one from Diane Fisher from Scrapbook Circle. I believe that's a kit club. And I am using these three really adorable photos and some of the little bits that I have left over of my Glitter Girl collection from Chamel. So the plan for today, and I'm excited, is to use tags. So I am actually a big fan of tags. I could probably use them on any layout without issue. I really love to use them. And so I'm going to go through and pick out basically out of what's left my favorite pattern papers to create a bunch of tags to kind of line up the way that you see them looking on the sketch. I do make all of them tags, whereas in the sketch I don't think they're all. I think the ones behind like that bottom photo are just layers, but I turn them into tags. And I'm going to highlight each one of these adorable photos that are my little ones, all on the days they came home from the hospital after they were born. So the one where okay, let me try to explain this. So Jackson is in the blue and black striped there on the left. That's my oldest. And then obviously Nora is the one with the really pretty teal and pink there, and she's got a little pink onesie on, which you can't really see, but she does. And then Barrett is in the one with the green blanket there. It's got some zebras on it, and yeah, those are my little guys, all of them on the way home from the hospital. And I was going to do 3 separate layouts. In fact, I actually have a layout of Jackson coming home, but you know what? I kind of felt like it's kind of all the same story and I can write how each one of them reacted, which was basically the same way for the most part, on how they came home. And like my feelings, my plan is to kind of write how each ride home was a little bit easier. So like with Jackson, I was in the back seat, and every little move that Sean made, I was like, you're gonna hurt the baby. And then with Nora, I was a little bit better. I think I might have sat in the back seat. No, you know what? I didn't sit in the back seat because there was no room for me to sit in the back seat. We had the car and I couldn't fit, but I was still a little nervous, and she cried, but she was decent. Whereas like Jackson had screamed the whole way home. And then Barrett, he went in the back seat and he did cry, but I was like, whatever, we'll be home in a half an hour, relax. So it's funny how you change as you go through your babies. However, when I say half an hour, so it's not that we live a half an hour away from the hospital, it's just with the traffic, that's kind of how long it takes to get home, sort of thing. But it was a Sunday. No, I had to stay at the hospital longer with Barrett. My first 2, I got to go home on a Sunday, so it was a nice and quick drive home. But with Barrett, it was kind of the middle of the week, and we left in mid-morning. So yeah, that's how it kind of goes there. So I got all my tags. I have them all outlined with black pen so that they really stand out. I feel like you need to do that when you use a bunch of patterns, especially when you're sticking it on a piece of white cardstock. And then I backed it with my one last full 12 by 12 sheet of Chamel, and I'm using the side that kind of reminds me of like mermaid tails, but I liked how it had the teal and the purple and the pink. I feel like it really combines the 3 colors together, and this is supposed to be a fun and playful layout, and because it's got both boy and girl on it, I feel like it all just kind of works really well. And then I know I want to add this really cute branding strip, which came from that pattern paper, and the hello from these word phrases. I'm going to use the one in pink, so I have a little bit more hint of pink. And the fact that it's going to say first ride. That's all I got. The rest of this layout was not necessarily a struggle, but I didn't know what to do. I was like, okay, well, I followed the sketch now. It's done, except I can't allow, like, for me, and okay, you could totally let this be and it would be awesome. If you like simpler layouts, if your style is clean and simple, then done, beautiful, wham bam, done. I like a little bit more complexity and interest to my layers and my layout, so I started by adding another piece of pattern paper down there. I really liked that. I'm going to go ahead and wiggle my fingers a whole bunch. I was in the middle of doing, or I am in the middle of doing Oh, sorry, I have little Miss Nora with me here. Sorry for the noise. But I'm doing load, which is lay out a day. And one of the prompts for a day was to use an arrow on your layout. And I was creating it on that day. So I went ahead and added a couple arrows because I felt like, why not? Except I didn't finish this layout on that day, so I couldn't use it for that prompt. But that's why I have arrows on this layout. So thank you, Load, for that. And then I go ahead and I'm making a couple arrows. I'm not really sure which ones I want, but I end up using the really pretty teal one. And then a really skinny little pink one, which kind of, I don't know, it's cool. It brings your eye into the layout a little bit. I really liked that. And then with the embellishments that I do add at the end, it kind of just helps you circle back around. And my idea for the journaling will be to add a little bit above the photo of Jackson, so the one on the left, and then in that little empty space with where Nora and Barrett's photos are kind of clustered together, I'll do the rest of the journaling there. So it'll be split journaling, but I have a lot to say, so I'm not really too worried about that. And then, of course, that's still not enough for me. I try. I really do. But there's my arrows. I'm happy with that. I take away the other arrow. I was going to add a bunch, but that doesn't work. So I'm going to go ahead and take that one away now. And then you're going to magically see the paper just be a big old white sheet of paper again, because what I'm going to decide to do is do a little bit of mixed media. I also thought it would be neat to use that really pretty bird paper. I love that bird paper. And it's the only little bit I have left. So I'm going to get that on the page by flipping the page over. Now I'm using a piece of pattern paper that I don't actually want in this layout because it's not meant to be there. So I'm going to grab some more of that teal. So now that teal is back in with the mix of everything, and it all, oh no, I don't. I use this blue. But it ties everything back in together. And it's got all the same collection on there, which I don't normally care about, but in this instance, it's important because any other collection would probably look really weird. Now to the mixed media. It's not a lot. I'm just using this silver, and I'm going to do a little bit there, spray a tiny bit of my, it's called Glorious Days. I think it's supposed to be like a mixture of gold and yellow. I think it's actually a little bit more yellow than gold. I know a lot of people have used it for gold, but it's too yellow for me to be gold. But I did use it so it had a pop of color besides just the silver. It needs a little bit of extra, like, so it's, I don't know, 2-dimension almost, like, I don't know how to explain it, but that is why I added it. And I really like that. A lot of it gets covered up anyways because of the fact that obviously my layers need to go back on there. And I was thinking about, I do add a tiny bit of pink, but not a lot, just enough to, again, add a little bit of texture. I'm really into this pink and yellowy gold color scheme right now. I've done a lot of layouts with it, especially in my traveler's notebooks that I've been doing for load. So I really like that. I'm going to lay down all of my layers again, and then I finally get to do my embellishing. So while you kind of see me do that, I'll wrap up by saying, please remember, if you are playing along, if you want to use my hashtag 30DSCBL3 on Instagram especially, I will be able to see it and give you some love. I've noticed a few people that have been playing along, and I love seeing your layouts and your takes on them. It's been so much fun. And of course, all of my special guests that have come on and joined me, that's always been fun. I really love having different perspectives on how you can do sketches and just give you even more inspiration. I love it. Everyone has such a unique idea on how to take stuff, and so I love the series so much. And yeah, so thanks for all of your support and your love, your comments. I read them all. If there are questions, I do try to answer them, but if they're not answered, I will try to get to them. Maybe message me again in case I've missed it. But your comments, I read them. I love them. They're very, very supportive. So thank you. And here you guys go. I added a car on my layout, and that was hard for me. That's one of those random embellishments I don't know how to use. But this is talking about a ride in a car. So I used it, and I felt like the suitcases worked because they were coming home. Yay! I used a random embellishment that I probably would have given away otherwise. So yay! I'm so happy about that. And then a few hearts, and that's basically the only stuff that isn't from the collection. And it really just wraps it all up. So I hope you liked this, and I will see everybody tomorrow. Oh my goodness, on to day 19. We only have 11 days left. That's just crazy to me. I finished everything off with just a little black outline to tie it all in. There's a look at my finished layout, and I will see everybody tomorrow. Bye!